everybody, it's Dr. Carmen Bryan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for all your support. Let me lift my chair up some. There we go. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for all the emails and all the comments. Thank you so much. So today I wanted to talk about, let's break down the family dynamics of a narcissistic family. Let's break down the dynamics and the roles. I did this before, but let's go each day. Let's go and talk about each specific character within that family, because some of you will find yourself in those roles: the golden child, the scapegoat, the lost child, the clown, whoever, the jester, whatever, and some of you actually were the enablers to the narcissist. So look at the family of a narcissist or narcissists. So sometimes it's both parents, but let's just say, for the sake of the video, let's just talk about one of the parents being a narcissist. So you got the parent that's a narcissist. So here you have this individual that thinks that they are the sun and the moon, and that everything orbits around them. Everything, moves around them. Everyone in the family, everything goes around the sun, which is the narcissist. Now you have the spouse or the partner who is the enabler, who is the codependent oftentimes. The enabler plays the role of making sure that everybody plays their roles in the family to keep the peace, and a lot of times you find that enabler makes excuses for the narcissist. Well, I don't think that they're a narcissist, or they don't even know what a narcissist is, but they make excuses for the behaviors. They try to help create a perfect image to the outside world, so they play into this. And there's this family that's this perfect family, and everybody loves this family. They're the power couple, but that enabler makes sure that this image at all costs is maintained, and people play their roles within that family, and that's oftentimes why it's so covert, because the enabler helps with the imagery that the narcissist is trying to create, So now let's look at the golden child. So today let's look at the golden child. So the golden child is usually the first child that's born, not all the time. This child may be, especially if you're dealing with a somatic narcissist, this may be a child that's beautiful, very athletic, very intellectual. Everything about this child is everything that narcissist can see that wants to be, or they see that. Remember, that's how they love bomb people, so they're love bombing this child from birth, because they see this child and this is everything that they want to be, and so they integrate themselves and live vicariously through this golden child. Now, if the first child is not like that and the second child comes out, sometimes the first child is not the golden child, sometimes it's the second or third child, sometimes it's not, in that order. So now they live vicariously. They start to live vicariously through this child. Most people look at the golden child because the golden child seems to never do no wrong. They always are getting special treatment. Because the child is being groomed, that, you will get punished for not complying, basically being a flying monkey and complying. The golden child watches what goes on within the family, and they see how people are hurt, abused, rejected, and they don't want this. They want to maintain that special relationship with that narcissist. So they'll do anything they can to make sure they comply to the needs and the wants and the desires of this narcissist, as this narcissist is molding and building this golden child. The thing about the golden child is that the golden child normally develops a very low self-esteem, because they don't know who they are. They're so integrated, and that narcissist crosses boundaries. There is no boundaries between the two. That the narcissist handles that child as if they are their equivalent or their equals. A lot of times, especially if the golden child looks like the other parent, maybe that got away, they start to handle that child as if that is the other, that is the supply that got away, or that supply that was left. Or they see their own attributes. They may look like them, they may sound like them, like the narcissist, but that narcissist just integrates himself or herself in, and it literally takes over the identity of that child, where that child doesn't know who they are. They don't know what they like. All they are consumed with is making sure that I satisfy the needs of the narcissist. And I comply to the narcissist because I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be abandoned. I don't want to be discarded, because they're watching everybody else go through this. And if the golden child doesn't comply, or makes a mistake and not comply or side with the narcissist will punish them by either devalue, punishing them by taking away something, rejecting them, ignoring them. And that child, that golden child, does whatever they can to get back into the good graces with that narcissist. Most of these golden children eventually end up taking upon the traits or developing, not taking upon the traits, developing narcissistic personality disorder as well. Because remember, there is no empathy, there is no true bond between the narcissist and the golden child. Everything is very superficial. Everything to that child, everything superficial is worthy, meaning that it's not about the inside of you and how you feel and the value of you as a person, as your character, that everything deals with how you look and the things that you do for me, what you do to make me look good, what you can do for me provides you with your value. And so a lot of them grow up lost, even if they don't develop narcissistic personality disorder. A lot of them grow up lost. They don't know who they are. They have a low self-esteem. They're trying to find themselves. They're very sensitive to rejection and abandonment, and you notice they become people pleasers as well. A lot of them become people pleasers, so they do whatever they can to make sure that people like them. They agree with things that they normally don't agree with, because that's how the narcissist has groomed them. And so for those people that assume that the golden child has it so great, no, they're not. They're being damaged and abused just like the rest of the family members in the family. True enough, some of the family members, and we'll talk about that in another video, some of these family members, do receive the harshest of the punishment, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse. And a lot of times the golden child, that's so close, because that narcissist looks at the golden child as an extension of themselves. They don't see a problem with actually having sex with that child, because to them, in their mind, even though they cannot articulate it, to them, they see nothing wrong with it. That's an extension of myself. I can violate, I can touch, this, and they claim that this is my property, this is mine, and for you to take this away from me, I will fight you. That's why a lot of them also have problems with getting married. To get married means you're taking my supply from me. Or you have those, the in-laws or that mother or father that's a narcissist that moves in with the married couple, and they literally dominate the household. They literally come in. If you marry my daughter, if you marry my son, we're a package deal, and I'm coming to you. And they move in and they dominate, because you cannot have control over this golden child. That golden child belongs to me, to a point where some people actually feel kind of awkward. Like, what kind of relationship do you and your mom or dad have? What is going on here? This is awkward. And a lot of marriages have been broken up because of the fact that they can't get rid of their narcissistic parent, because they still feel obligated to them. Especially if you're dealing with a narcissist that's a vulnerable narcissist. A vulnerable narcissist usually they're the ones that get with other narcissists that are abusive. And so the way that they get their fuel is through pain, through hurt. Those vulnerable narcissists, and then always playing the role of a sick person, always playing the woe is me, and it's so horrible, yet no one knows that they're prodding the bear. And so when that other person goes off on them, even the other narcissist, it's poor little me, it's woe is me. So that vulnerable narcissist looks for pain. That vulnerable narcissist usually connects with narcissists that inflicts the highest level of pain. That is their that is their narcissistic fuel. And then those are the ones that they move in with the golden child, and they really just make it uncomfortable. They make the marriage uncomfortable. The one spouse wants to leave, you need to tell your mom or dad to go back home, or we need to find somewhere to put them, because this is tearing up our marriage. And that the one that you're married to is like, I can't do that to my parent, because that's my parent and they took care of me. And then that narcissist will throw out guilt trips. I did this and I paid for school and I did this. At least you can do is, take care of me in my older age. And I can't believe you would handle me this way. And, I'm the matriarch, the patriarch. And so it's just it's a combobulation. It's an entanglement, where that narcissist has. So what they're doing to you as a partner, for those of you that have partners that are narcissists, imagine what they're doing to the children, because they're idealizing the golden child. They're putting the golden child on a pedestal. What child doesn't want to feel special? But they know how to maneuver. Most of these are adults. And so if they're doing it with those that they have a sexual relationship with, or a romantic relationship with, imagine what they're doing to the kids. And kids are innocent. They just love their parents. And so that golden child, a lot of times, is hard for that golden child. It is hard for that golden child because everything they do, they want to please that narcissistic parent. Everything they want to do is they want to make sure they won't get rejected or abandoned or hurt. So whatever they do, they'll fight alongside with that narcissist. You know, if you say something negative, they'll fight you, and they don't see the wrongs of the narcissist because they are in that fog. They're in that trance. So they don't see anything wrong with the narcissist because all they know is I have to comply to make sure I continue to get love from this person. And then eventually they also, a lot of them also develop narcissistic personality disorder. So you see, a lot of times it may not just be the physical or sexual abuse, it's how the narcissist is grooming that individual. But never underestimate a narcissist because their minds are not like your minds. Their minds are messed up. Their character is flawed. These people have problems. These people, you know, you never trust a narcissist, especially with your children. Parents, watch your children. Take care of your children. Listen to them when they're trying to tell something, because a lot of times children cannot articulate what is happening. They show it in their behavior. All of a sudden their behavior is unacceptable. All of a sudden they start failing in school. They're having temper. They're angry. They have an angry outburst. They say things. They draw certain pictures. Don't ever dismiss what you see. Don't ever dismiss what you see, but talk to a professional to know how to talk to your child, because some of you jump right in and start asking questions. They're not going to tell you what the narcissist is doing because they're obligated out of fear, because that narcissist has probably threatened them as well. You know, threatened them that if you say anything or if you tell anybody, you know, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill your mother or father, or, you know, that means that you are unworthy or you are not trustworthy for you to go and tell our business and what's happening in our household. See, that has it's like a two-sided message. Quit telling people what's going on in my house. That is nobody's business. For the average person, I mean, that's true. Don't go out there talking about my business or what goes on in this house. You don't go out there telling people, but that narcissist takes it up a notch. They use it because they know they're going to do something that's going to violate that child, whether it's emotionally, mentally, or physically. And then they use that rule. They take a good principle and they pervert the good principle. And you don't go out there. And so if someone asks them, like, yes, I tell my child that because my child has a habit of running their mouth too much. Now they're putting stuff onto that child. So now the child, everything that they hear about themselves is negative. What's wrong with you? Why do you think like, why do you dress like that? What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with their dress. They're just discovering themselves. You know, why do you think like that? They're a child. You know, they're such and such age. That's how children think. But a narcissist doesn't see that way. You see? So the golden child oftentimes has a very hard time, even though it may appear to the rest of the family. And then they don't mind, you know, that narcissist doesn't mind triangulating the golden child with anybody else in the family. And they enjoy watching the fight over them. Because remember, everything revolves around the narcissist. So hopefully you got a little information. It's not extensive, you know, but some information so you can identify whether or not you were the golden child. And I'll talk about the different characters this week, okay? So some of you might identify as the golden child. You have to discover you are not the narcissist. You are unique, and everything that they try to, that whenever someone withholds attention or love, or they try to make you feel like you're not worth anything because you want to comply with the way that they think or the way that they act, those are the people that you need to get away from, because you are a unique person all by yourself. You are unique, the way that you think, the way that you dress. That's why I dress and do the things, because I'm a unique person. There's no one in this world, out of all the billions of people in this world, there's nobody like you. You are unique all by yourself. When you were created, the mold was destroyed. I don't care if you have what are they called, a doppelganger? I don't care if you have a doppelganger. They may look just like you, but they're not you. They'll never be you. You are you all by yourself, and you need to be the most unique you that you can possibly be. And you have to learn self-esteem. You have to learn self-worth. It is not dependent on somebody else's opinion about you. Your self-worth and your self-esteem is not contingent on what somebody says about you, the views that you get, how many people tell you you're beautiful. Don't worry about what people think. You be your unique you. You are you, and there is no other you in this galaxy, in this universe. Remember that. Out of the billions of people on this earth, you are uniquely you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dr. Carmen Bryant. Please subscribe to my channel. It is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I also have a Facebook page, which is Psychological Health, Consultants and Services, and Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I am on Instagram. I got to learn how to work that, you know, and come on live. I kind of familiar with YouTube, so I'm trying to learn something new. You know, I may have some closed groups for you guys. Somebody taught me that. So on Instagram, but work with me. I'm working on it. Thank you guys so much also for your support. I do have a book out. It is called Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You can find it on Barnes & Noble. You can find it on Amazon. So if you want to read ebooks or Kindle, you can download it on Kindle, get it right away, or get the hard copy or the softback. And you can, for those of you that are out of the country, some of you guys are having problems with Amazon shipping to foreign countries for the book. If you look underneath my video is Westbow Press, and they will send overseas. So if you are overseas and you're having problems with Barnes & Nobles or Amazon shipping to you, go to the publisher site, which is Westbow Press, and you can go find the book there, and they do sell books on there. So my book is on there, and they will send it overseas. Some people had a better success getting it through them and having it sent overseas. Those of you also make sure you go check out my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and she provides you with narcissist abuse recovery and information based upon biblical principles, spiritual principles. Both of us understand that everybody does not have the same belief system. We give you some principles to apply to your belief system. And so go and listen to her. She will give you some really good spiritual and biblical principles. Some of the spiritual questions that you have that people think that you're crazy, she'll answer those questions for you, especially if you leave questions to her. She will talk about it straightforward, and she's also the presiding prelate of Interest Chambers Global Ministry, which is my senior pastor, my mentor, my spiritual parent. And you guys can, and many churches and church leaderships, and so you know that she's well versed when it comes to this information from that caliber. Please tune in on Friday. On Friday at, let me see, I think it's at 7. The flyer is on my community tab. And yes, it's on my community tab on my Facebook page, and I will repost it again. But you guys make sure you get the information so you can tune into Zoom. You got to get the code. The code is on the flyer, so you guys can come in to the panel that will be there. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, the host, myself, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, Ms. Bridget Griffin, who is the legal advocate or the liaison advocate at the YWCA in King County, and Ms. Mavis Washington, who is a former intake specialist for one of the senior insurance companies who did the intake when people will call in. And so there will be a panel discussion on domestic violence, and whatever topic Apostle Helen Sadler brings up. So it's Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. You can find the flyers on her page, or you can find it on my community tab and Facebook page. I will repost it again, and then join me. I am a guest on Saturday. I will be talking about trauma bonding. There's a flyer on that as well. It is domestic violence support group, specifically narcissist domestic violence support group. There's a flyer. I will be the speaker for where I will be speaking about trauma bonding to the domestic violence support group on Saturday. Make sure you go and look on that flyer. The codes are on there. I'm going to repost the flyers until the event. So make sure you guys join us then. And thank you so much for being here. Those that are looking for coaching, please do not hesitate in emailing me. I'm Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. You'll find the information underneath the video on YouTube. It's DrCarmenBryant at Outlook.com. If you are interested in coaching, please contact me. I will provide you with my fees so that we can schedule you an appointment. If you are in the state of Washington, then I can provide you with counseling services, but outside the state of Washington, I cannot. Those of you that need counselors, some don't need coaching first. You need counseling first. You can also look at the link. It's betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. You can get a 10% discount. And also, if you're having financial difficulties, let them know. They can provide you with a grant. But some of you guys need counselors, and these counselors are online counselors in your state. They're licensed counselor. Ask them, do you know about narcissist abuse? No, ask them, do you understand trauma? Do you understand psychological abuse? Do you understand domestic violence? Do you understand parental alienation? Use the definition, use the words. Do you understand, the lingering effects? Do you understand when another person has a personality disorder, or they're psychopaths, a sociopath? Do you understand the damage that comes from there? Give them the definition and see how much they know. You can vet them like that, because a lot of them, because a lot of them, may not understand when you say narcissist abuse, because it's a word that's just being thrown out, but it has, that narcissist abuse, which is domestic violence, has an effect on your life, your children's lives, and the lives of the people around you. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and you guys go and be great.